Hey y'all. So, for those of you who I haven't talked to, I would just like to report that my summer shows went very well. At no point did I ever need stitches after the show was over. Get hit in the face with a bat, not like a baseball bat, but like a bat. Break 3 swords in a climax fight. Have someone miss a cue and get left on stage with some improvisationally useless freshman. For too many Michael Jackson references during our 1862 historical Civil War drama. And most importantly, no one had a stroke while I was I'd like to report that only one of those things happened here at ACU. Okay, but in all seriousness, I'm so glad to be with you guys today. This is one of my favorite times of the year, and this is one of my favorite places to be, and I'm really honored to be leading the charge today. Honored as I still am, terrified to do this. I'm not off book, nor have I had a blocking rehearsal, so just bear with me. But first off, I just want to be about the 500 billion person to welcome our new freshman. Guys, everyone. Woo! Yes. Everyone in this room remembers what it was like to be where you guys are, and we are just so glad to welcome you guys into our family. So don't ever feel worried about where your place is in our department, because you certainly have one here. Also, I do want to extend a huge welcome to our new faculty member, Michael Duran. I got text messages pretty much as soon as you showed up on campus about how great you were going to be, and just seeing that in the Noises Offset and the King and I set, it's just, we're so blessed to have you with us. But one of the reasons that I am nervous to be doing the charge tonight is because my freshman year, a little 5'5" guy introduced himself to me as my big brother in the department, named Seth Bazakis, got up here and he led a truly inspired charge. It's something that I kind of go back to at the end of the semester, because he sets out kind of a great checklist of what we're trying to accomplish here at ACU as artists. Luckily, Adam taped that speech, so if I screw this up, you guys can go back and watch this. But it's a great little thing to watch. I really do encourage you to watch it. But one of the things that, as I rewatch that every year, the thing that I find endearing about it is he starts off talking about what an exciting time it was to be at ACU. And while it was such an exciting time to be at ACU 3 years ago, we were just leaps and bounds ahead of where we were back then. In that time, we have put 2 alumni on Broadway. We put 1 recent alumni off Broadway, and we've had 3 on national tours. Not to mention, we now have a playwright who's getting a play done in Canada. Our students here are pursuing summer work harder than ever. We are forces to reckon with at FCTC, as well as what's really exciting is to see people go beyond FCTC and find work on their own. It's just so cool. Kind of a cool thing that I was thinking about. If you think about recent alumni that we've had, over the summer we had Seth down in Hawaii doing a cruise line. We had Laura Seiberg way up in Maine at Maine State Musical Theater, whatever, and everywhere in between in the country. And then if you look at just current students, and those who had just graduated from our program, we had Melanie way up in Seattle, Washington at Packard Theater, and we had Kat in Flat Rock, North Carolina, we had Jay in South Boston, Virginia, and we had Drew in Princeton, New Jersey, and everywhere in between. Now, what's cool about that everywhere in between is the stuff we do right here. Now, a lot of you guys stay here and do the shows at Paramount, do the shows at McMurray, and what's really, really cool is we still have the capacity to be able to do an Abilene Shakespeare Festival every single summer, that we have students that are willing to stay here and do that and grow in that way. And it's just so cool to be away and to kind of hear about those processes and how everyone's planning to over-capacity houses, and it's just a great place to be. And I have more exciting news. We can't overlook what Adam has accomplished in his faculty renewal leave last semester. Now, for those of you who don't know, Adam took a break from being on campus last semester and went to New York City and Los Angeles to he had this vision of setting up a program similar to what we have with the LA Film Studies program, but to put that program like that in New York. Now, luckily, somebody had already set up that program for him, in Lisa Nichols in the Tepper semester, but it was still an immense amount of work to try and get our students involved, and how quickly we could do that was just not really known to us. And in fact, one of the things that I remember about Adam leaving is when he was leaving, the question was asked, is this going to affect current students here, presumably the freshmen and sophomores? And he said, I hope it will, but really I just have no idea. Literally, 4 months later, we had students filling out applications to spend the spring semester of their senior year at the Tepper semester in New York City. So that's really Okay, now let's talk about Jesus. Thinking about what I was going to say for this week's charge, I was thinking about the interpretations of the word charge itself. Thanks to ACU, we have 2 interpretations of the word charge. We've always had the da-da-da-da-da charge, the leading onwards into battle. But now, thanks to ACU, we all have iPhones now. Thank God. We, Generation X, kind of thinks of charge in a different meaning. We kind of think of charge as that thing we do with our phones at the end of the day after they're running out of energy. At the end of the day, our phones need an energy source, a constant plug-in to refresh before the next day. So let's just say that we are our phones, and ACU is that place we get to come back and plug into at the end of a long break. It's that place where we get to come back and be together, grow in our friendships, and grow in the art that we are creating in the name of God. After a long summer being all over the country, this is a phenomenal place to come back and plug into. Our faculty works tirelessly to maintain that plug for us. And guys, we get so busy during the school year, and we're all kind of running in our own bubbles, and I really want to take a second to recognize our faculty and our adjunct faculty. We have Gary, who is the workhorse of the scene shop and provider of all successful comic bits in our department. He's a person who is often also used as a connection to many outside theaters, as he does a lot of work at really phenomenal theaters during his summer. We have Donna, who is our resident mom. Someone who will just love on you and always put your needs ahead of her own. Oh, and she helps do our schedules, too. We have Adam, who overlooks the whole process as department chair, and he handles many of the problems that this department faces without ever letting us know about them. He's our most experienced acting and directing coach and provides all of us actors with the foundation that helps us compete in business. We are so glad to have Jeanette with us today. Jeanette means more to this department than you can possibly imagine, and she's the greatest prayer warrior that you will ever see. Her and her husband, Harold, are just the model of what a marriage should look like, and they're phenomenal people to have around. And Terry, we are so glad to have you with us, too. We have just been through so much with Terry over these past couple of years, and it's so good to see you in this place and just with us. It's so exciting. We have Sandy, who is maybe one of the most genuinely caring people I have ever met in my life. She loves her students, is a phenomenal teacher, and one of the most terrific people to have on your team, whether you're interested in costume design or not. We have Carrie, who's not with us right now, but the thing that's so special about Carrie is Carrie kind of came in with the class of us who's seniors right now, and my special memory with Carrie is our first semester. My first show was her first show to vocal direct, and she stopped me in the hall, and she goes, "I can tell you're intimidated to do this, because I'm intimidated too." And it just, it was so meaningful to me to kind of have that human connection. She dumps huge amounts of time into our department, despite having heartburn and another one on the way. And then, attached at her hip is Laura Logan, who we're so blessed to have. Literally, our musical theater department would not operate without Laura. She's always willing to help us out, so we just can't thank you enough. Not to mention you're a great friend, too. And then we have our other super mom, Dawn, who is blessed with the gifts of dance, acting, and most of all, encouragement. She has also been our connection to the New York world for the past several years, and we literally wouldn't be where we are as far as putting people into the business without the work that you did before you came here. And we really wouldn't be anywhere without everyone in this room. A lot of people see God in nature. A lot of us see God in art. But where I see God most is relationships. Here's what I think is exciting about God.